Hi, everyone, and welcome to this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter for Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aiden Champion. Going to talk a little hockey today. Um, obviously, things didn't end the way this team had hoped. I think most fans were pretty stunned by the result, how things wrapped up with that upset loss to um, Cornell in the first round, when the expectations were very high for this team, winning a second straight Big Ten regular season championship and a second straight tournament championship, um, conference tournament championship, and that obviously had never been done before by a Big Ten team. Um, it just seemed like the stars were kind of aligned for a tournament run and getting past the point they did last year when they lost to Michigan and were unable to advance to the Frozen Four. But you know, just didn't play out that way. And as we saw, Western Michigan, one of the other teams in the state, the least likely, you would think when you consider the success Michigan hockey has had in recent years, and then of course Michigan State now coming along. I think it's just kind of an not very ordinary um, occurrence, but you know, personally, I'm happy for Western Michigan. Nice to see a smaller school get its flowers there. But um, you know, going into the off season, I think most fans had thought this was going to be kind of a rebuilding type year. You lose some players to the pros. Fans were probably most fans were thinking, you know, that they were going to lose Trey Augustine and Isaac Howard to the pros as well. And who would have thought both of them will be back for next season? And um, man, how what that does for this team. Talk about expectations. I mean, at this point, it's title or bust. It really is. You can go ahead and win another Big Ten regular season championship, win another another Big Ten tournament championship, but I don't think it's really going to matter nearly as much next year. The focus is going to be you got to win an NCAA tournament championship now. Um, because you don't know when you're going to get this opportunity again, and you want to keep building, off of the success you've had, and that's not what they were able to do this year. Um, it didn't feel like a step back, but when you consider getting bounced in the first round to Cornell, yeah, it kind of was in a way. But so you got Trey Augustine back, you got Isaac Howard back, and you lose two of your primary defensemen, David Gucciardi and Nicholas Andrews, to the pros. But then, you know, it, they've done a great job at replenishing the blue line with, Colin Ralph, a guy who was drafted in the second round by St. Louis Blues. That was a big time transfer commit there from St. Cloud State. And then just recently earned the commitment of Cole Ward, a guy from um, from junior hockey who had been committed to Northern Michigan, flipped his commitment, um, and that was huge as well. Talk about an incoming freshman class that looks pretty solid, and you got Augustine back in net, and you got the Hobie Baker Award winner, best player in college hockey, who's decided he's going to play another season of college hockey, which you hardly ever see that. Both players, had their reasons for coming back. It seems that for Trey, it was about development. He feels he can. This was the best option for him as far as developing his game, and I think that was a very mature choice of him. This guy's been one of the best goaltenders in hockey the past two seasons, and he certainly could have gone on and started his next chapter, but he wants to, take another stab this year, continue to grow and fight for a national championship. And it seems like he feels there's unfinished business here. And then that was some of, Isaac Howard's reasoning as well. He also didn't really see eye to eye um, with the Lightning. Said there was, um, you know, he said there was a philosophical divide. That's what he said when he talked to the media on Thursday. But um, you know, like I said, I mean, it's title or bust, and the expectations are through the roof for this team, especially when you see Western Michigan get it done, and I feel like this team's got to have kind of a chip on its shoulder, prove itself to be not just the best team in the state, but in the nation. And on paper, I mean, they certainly look like they're one of them. Um, but man, fans, the excitement's got to be sky high, and to have another season of this, you know, it's exciting times still for Michigan State hockey, um, and you know, there's a lot of hope still that remains. So it'll be interesting to see what plays out next year. And I know we got a while until then, um, but exciting times still for Michigan State hockey, and Adam Nightingale's still doing great job with this program. Obviously, it completely turned around for the better, and it's been great to see for a school that loves its hockey and has great hockey history. Um, you know, could very well be bringing another title to East Lansing next season. So, as always, thank you all for tuning in, and have a very happy Easter. Thanks.